Hello there, beautiful internet and you fantastic creatures of the beyond. Welcome to my review. And today we review Shogun. Now, Shogun is a really cool book. And it has two series. Um, One was, they say it was a TV movie, but from what I know, it was only a miniseries in the 1980s. And then this is the remake after that series, but not really a remake. It's quite interesting. Um, so the book is one of the seven, I think, written by James Clavell, and this is taking action in the 1600s in feudal Japan, and we are following the events that happen with the power struggle and our main character, John Blackthorne, that lands in there and he finds himself in a very peculiar situation. But what was unknown to me was the fact that the book was written actually from real life events of a person named William Adams, which basically has kind of the same story as in the books. Although all the characters and everything, I mean, not characters, all the people involved in the actual events have different names than in the book. So the book is an adaptation from history. Obviously, it has more interpreted events in there that are more embellished to look beautiful, but obviously in history, you know, as all things in history, they're embellished. Um, but what about this new series from this year, 2024? I think that this series is actually quite clever in a way. And I don't want to compare the book to the 1980s series with this series because it would be kind of a disservice. Um, there are many fundamental changes between the two series and the book including. So in a way I see all three of them complementary to each other. The 1980 series is more close to the book, but it does have some unique changes, and of course, it can't put everything in the book inside the series because they did something like 9 episodes or 10 episodes. I can't remember exactly right now. But the same is here, although there are quite some polarizing shifts between the series that cover things from the book in a new light, and it's quite cool because if I would recommend you start watching this series, it's a good introduction to the Shogun universe. But then I would really recommend you watch the 1980s series as well. Different performance, um, some of the changes that you see there, and some of the things that are missing from this series and are there are quite intriguing. And then move to the book, which the book will fascinate you a lot because it has so many cool things. To be honest, I have forgotten most of what happened in the book when I started watching the series because I've read the book many years ago. And I only recently um, refreshed my mind upon the events of the book. And yeah, the book is just so freaking fantastic. Um, so there are quite a few characters to go around. We have John Blackthorne, we have Toranaga, we have Mariko, Yabu, Ishido, or Ishido? I can't remember right now. I think it was Ishido. Um, But the thing is, um, the series can't put what the book describes because the book revolves around a complex mm, war between the Portuguese and Japanese over the monopoly of trade and culture, of course. But then there is also a big clash between religious aspects, where the Catholics, mainly the Jesuits, are trying to um, convert the population to Christianity. And then there is the English side of views regarding Catholicism, which is not mixing too well with Blackthorn. And it's interesting that the 1980 series, when it was filmed, it was very authentic. I'm not saying that this series is bad in any way. It's very fascinating to see how they created it on screen. But the 1980 series, uh, they actually did everything by hand, from the wardrobe to the hand-built traditional houses that were actually built and filmed in Japan on the set, all the way to the uh, life-size replica of the ship that was actually sailed from England all the way to Japan. And it was mental how far they went to make it so really culturally authentic for the Japanese era. And they had an incredible set of actors that played there. That it's just breathtaking in many ways. Not to say that the 2024 series is lacking in this department. They have a very solid acting cast. There are some things that I felt were a bit shaky, especially with the plot in some areas. But regardless, the main difference between the two series is that in the 1980 series, we are presented the story from Blackthorn's view, while in this 2024 series, the remake, we are presented it from the actions and characters around Blackthorn. So Blackthorn is not really the central piece, and in a way, the new series presents the culture much better. Um, Unfortunately, both series do not flesh out throughout the episodes how grand the whole shift of actions related to the shogunate and to the war and to the conflicts and to the culture discrepancies are in there. Um, Basically, everybody is a pawn within a world that is living and breathing, and all this political mayhem is mental. And in a way, the series present more the human nature and the personal connections between characters, while in the book we are presented the whole country as per se, and the whole culture, and how it revolves around the characters, and how it impacts the characters as well. Um, what's interesting though is that both series are missing something very interesting. The book is quite romantic, and the series do present this, but the book is also very kinky. It describes some very hmm, spicy love making in there that's quite missing in the series, and I thought that was a missed opportunity because it contrasts the polarity between Christianity and how they view the open-minded approach of the Japanese culture related to how they see sexuality and how they view human rights in a way, you know. Although I'm not saying that feudal Japan didn't have its fair share of issues, especially with misogyny and class differences in the hierarchy of citizenship and the noblemen and so on. But again, those are things from that era. Um, and another interesting thing is that the series don't seem to put much emphasis on Blackthorn because the series kind of sees Blackthorn as, and especially in the 2024 series, Toranaga at the end says like Blackthorn was not important for him to win the war or to succeed, and maybe to some extent it's true, but looking at the book and the actual person that the book is based on, William Adams, he was the main factor that changed or balanced the scale in favor of Toranaga's success in the war. Because Blackthorn trains his army, teaches them how to use cannons and so on. So it does give him an advantage. Also, both series do not cover the decisive battle that happens in the book, where it ensures Toranaga's win to become a shogun. But then again, that's more on the political side of the of the story. And though it is kind of a bit of a disappointment because it kind of builds up until that moment, but they kind of brush it off somehow. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just different, and perhaps it's good that they present more of the human aspect because mm, this is more of a series that is on the psychological level. Toranaga is playing 4D chess while everybody is playing cards. And the people that are trying to play chess with him only know how to play 2D chess, not 4D. So Toranaga is a genius in many ways, and he's very manipulative, and it's a very strange book to go through because it does not have that Western kind of mentality. Uh, there are a lot of shades of gray. Like I could say, Toranaga is quite cold when it comes to how he takes actions into achieving his victory and how he sacrifices people that are dear to him uh, only to succeed in his dream. Of course, you could argue that his ambition is in the name of whole of Japan to create a Japan without war, a peaceful Japan, and he does achieve this. And actually, in history, the actual shogun that uh, takes power, I don't remember his name right now. Um, he actually opens up a 250 years balance of peace in Japan and the reign of shogunate afterwards. It's really really interesting. So yeah, both series are fantastic. Start with the 2024 series, move to the 1980 series, and then move to the book. I think you will love all three because they all three tell the story not well slightly different, but uh, also when you're gonna read the book, it's gonna feel very personal to you because you can have those images in your mind from the series and the characters, and putting the series side by side, they both are good. Although I would say the 1980 series is a bit above the 2024 because of the quality it offers. Sure, it does have its flaws, I'm not gonna deny that. But for the year that it was made, it was quite an achievement. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this review and maybe get interested in checking out the series and the book. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. So, yeah. Bye, 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 bye.